anything that is too advanced, I always tell it to write it in a simple thing. So if you look at all my Python code, they are very straightforward. I don't even use functions, right? They are just
Right.
top down. This is a variable, then I want to do this. Then I have some if statements in there. So my Python code is not advanced at all. It's on a beginner level, but I can write Python to do whatever I need to do in AWS. So,
And that's, yeah, go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was saying what exactly you just said, that's kind of like how we try to, talk to people and all that good stuff. But people tend to feel like when you tell them, hey, you know, I'm not, I have a friend now just came from back home and he wants to get into the IT sector and all that stuff. So
Mhm,
I was telling him, I was like, hey, I'm not saying getting into the cloud, that's where the money is and all that stuff. I'm not saying it's not something you should do or you shouldn't do.
mhm.
My thing is, before you get into all of this stuff, go get the basics.
Yeah.
The whole IT stuff, IT industry started from data. It's
Mhm,
because there was a lot of transactions. People wanted to see these transactions, what's happening date-wise and all that stuff, understanding
mhm,
why things have been done. So that was the kind of like the foundation of IT. IT
mhm,
was mainly from data, understanding what's happening to data.
mhm,
So you want to get into any sector, any part of IT, you gotta make sure you know a little bit about data, be able to write something, at least a simple coding language. You see, now we're talking AWS now, which really, to be honest, is not data related, but within
mhm,
the AWS, you got to know a little. Now you're telling me, hey, Danny, you need to know a little bit about Python. You need to know this, a dictionary. You need to know functions. But when you tell someone that's trying to get in, they feel like you're trying to make the thing difficult. You don't want me to get in and all that. They tend not to understand what is actually going on.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, so before I started AWS, um, initially when I was just trying to learn IT, I did bought a Python book and I was learning Python. So that was where I got my basic Python knowledge from. It was, I think it's like a Python book for dummy. And then I was going through the exercises in it. So that was how I even understand the basics of coding. And I think I bought some Python courses on Udemy. But I really didn't finish them, but I did it to a point where I understand
Exactly.
some stuff, some basic stuff on Python. So if you ask me to write a Python code, I will write the most basic Python code, and it will do what I need it to do. I mean, it's not going to be people that are more advanced. They can do a bunch of stuff. They can write a function that would pretty much do all the things that I'm doing in 10 lines. They can probably do it with one function. So that's more advanced. So, and when you write Python codes in AWS, you really don't even have to do all that unless if you know what you are doing. You can still write a simple Python code that would automate things in AWS. And also the Boto 3 library, which is um, what what we use in AWS, Python, the Python package that you will use in AWS to do whatever you need to do. Um, it has documentation that is even showing you how to use a lot of the stuff you're going to be using. So it's just like Terraform. Once you look at it, you can tell. Then the only other part is, let's say I in AWS, right? When you make an API call to AWS, let's say using Python, AWS is going to return a JSON file to you. Most likely it's going to be a JSON file, right? Or it's going to be a dictionary. It's going to have a lot of information in it. So let's say I request an information about an EC2. And in that EC2, the data I'm trying to work with is just the security group ID. But when you request the information from AWS, AWS is going to give you a bunch of information about that EC2. So now, once you get that data from AWS, that's when really the Python part comes in. You now have to use Python to manipulate the data to extract that security group ID that's the only thing you want from it. You extract it out, then you can now use it in a different way for whatever you need to use it for. So when you are working with AWS, that's what using Python with AWS, that's what you really see the most of the time. It's like once you get the data, you don't always get it in the exact format or the exact value you want. You still have to use Python to for loop into the result they gave you and extract what you want out of it, then you can use it. And you'll see a little bit of it in that project, that Python project you are working on.
Oh yeah, because you spent like I think like 35, 30 something minutes on two of the scripts. So that alone should help us to understand what we're trying to
Exactly.
get it with Python, write the code
Exactly.
and execute it,
Exactly.
and then do that for each loop type of thing. It's really
Exactly. Yeah, you'll be using for loops a lot. For
yeah.
loop, if else statement a lot. So I feel like for on a beginner level, just understand what a for loop is, what a if else statement is, a variable. If you understand those basic things about Python, you'll be fine. You'll be able to complete tasks in AWS, and especially having AI tool like ChatGPT to assist you. But my thing is, don't just ask ChatGPT or any of this AI, use any of this AI to write your code if you don't know exactly what you are looking at. Uh, so even if I use ChatGPT to write something, I always review it line for line and to make sure I understand what's going on. In case if I have to explain it, I understand it and I can explain it myself. So yeah,
Thanks.
yeah, no problem. Yeah, so for those that are trying to get into cloud, don't worry about coding. You really don't know how to, you don't just worry about coding. Just you can try to pick and choose what you want to do and what you don't want to do. Or I mean, there's specific areas in the cloud you can go at, but in terms of building your skills, just be open-minded to um, learning. What starting, which is the same thing I'm showing you guys. Starting is learning what cloud computing is, learning what AWS is, what services do AWS offer, and how do you use those services in AWS, right? Once you know the basics and you can create things using the management console. Majority of your time after that should be spent automating stuff because that's exactly how it's going to be at work. So what you should be trying to build your skills on is automating, and there are different type of tools that are used for in different scenarios to automate things in AWS. That's what you should be trying to learn. Don't focus on, oh, I don't want to code. I don't like coding. So I will avoid coding. You really can avoid it. And it's not really even called coding because in cloud, we do more scripting. What we do is scripting, it's not code. Code is more of like what software engineers do, where you give them an idea and they make it come to life by writing the code for the application. How, for example, how this website is functioning now, how I'm able to scroll, all these images you are seeing, is a software engineer that created the template that I can use to do all this. That's more coding because they are starting with an idea that it didn't exist before and they are creating something out of it. But in AWS, when we script something, whether with Terraform or Python, the documentation exists. Whatever you are trying to do is there. It's like you're just making API call, you're getting the data and you are manipulating the data. So what we do in cloud is scripting, is not coding. I mean, if you want to learn how to code too, you can learn how to code. It won't hurt you, but you learn is what we do is more is scripting, not coding.
Quick question is, Aziz.
Yes.
Um, I heard you saying that soft engineers are the one who kind of are responsible for this, the building of this website, for instance. So my question is, software engineer and web developers, are they the same? Can they be used interchangeably?
Yeah, I think so. Because
Okay.
they all do
Um,
they anybody that's creating apps, writing codes, creating a product that end users can use, like all these apps,
oh, okay.
website, yeah, they can pretty much do the same thing.
All right. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
So is with them, yeah, I think, and I don't know too much about their field, but with them, it's just about um, learning different languages. You know, for example, some apps might be in Node.js, some apps might be in Java. So with them, they have to just be vast in all the different languages that exist to create the app. But
Yeah,
I
because most
think
of
I think if you have the skill in one, you can do this the other one. I think it's
well, as part of tell me your day-to-day activities at work, because I do refer to it that I collaborate with the web developers. So
Mhm.
that is how I use it. I never mentioned software engineers. So that was what led to my curiosity to ask that question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but thank you.
Yeah. I think is you can use them interchangeably. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Uh, hey Aziz,
Hi.
I had an opportunity that I was pursuing, and I wanted your feedback on
Yeah, sure.
the resume. So can you schedule a time for me?
Yeah, sure. You can send your resume to me. I'll review it.
Okay.
Then we can now schedule a time. How soon do you want to meet?
I would like to be early, maybe in the Monday or Tuesday maximum.
Okay, sure. So we can definitely schedule a time for, yeah, let me see. Monday evening works for me. And if I'm
Oh,
free during the day, sometimes I may have time during the day too. So I can certainly let you know.
okay. Shall I send you on Slack? Or
Yes, yes, send it to me on Slack. Yeah,
okay, all right. Thank you.
no problem. Okay. Um, all right. Does anyone else need help with something? All right. So Abel, were you able to did you get the answer for what you asked
Yes, yes,
about the AMI stuff? So
yes.
the AMI is just you use the AMI from the previous project and from when you created it in the EC2, right? Um, but then once you complete it, I still want you to do it that way. Once you complete it, if you want me to show you the code of where you don't want to depend on an AMI from a previous project, you just want to use Terraform to do the full deployment of your application, let me know and I can show you that as well.
All right. Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right.
Is it
Hey, what's up?
the problem with my Docker?
Mhm.
Can I share my screen? Because I
Yeah,
want you to see.
sure.
Ooh. And this is what I'm having right here. Can you see it?
Yeah, but that's not an issue, right?
This is an issue because it's saying that the CPU utilization is high, but
It's high.
it's high. The percentage is 63, but I have a warning, and I know this shouldn't be here
No, I
because
mean
when I
there's nothing is not there's nothing wrong with it, right? So
oh
this is saying, right? If
mm-hmm,
this is your auto scaling group stuff, right?
yeah,
So it is saying that if your CPU utilization is lower than 63 for 15 minutes, right? It should take an action,
mhm,
right?
right,
So what that means is that when you have servers running, let's say you deploy a server, part of the job of the auto scaling group is if you have a server running and nobody,
mm-hmm,
because when you use your servers, let's say people are accessing your website, right? The CPU of the server where people are requesting the information will always be up because people are accessing it. But
okay,
let's say it's the weekend and nobody is coming to your store to access, to request information to other things. The server will just be there. Since nobody is requesting information from it, the CPU will be down. And when the
okay.
CPU is down, we've configured the auto scaling group to go and remove the server. So that way we don't have servers running that's costing us money. You
Okay,
understand?
but I do understand. But when I put in like HTTP, I think it was HTTPS, it was not secure.
Yes, but that has nothing to do with this one though.
Okay, all right. But
Yeah.
what about my HTTPS was not being secure, and I'm thinking the alarm is coming from the target from the
Yeah,
auto
so
scaling group.
Yeah, so that has nothing to do with your HTTPS not being secure. This is strictly just the server. And
Gotcha.
this is happening based on what we set up in our auto scaling group. So this has nothing to do with your HTTPS.
Okay. Did you see? I deployed it with I sent a screenshot of it. I
Mhm.
deployed it with Docker for as the script that you gave us
Do you
with it.
still Yeah, sorry,
Huh?
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Finish your
Good.
thought.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, do you still have the what you deploy and it's showing HTTPS? Do you still have it up or did you remove everything?
No, I didn't. I didn't remove anything.
All right, let me see. Let me see what you mean. You are getting the HTTPS.
All right. Let me see.
Hello, Coop. You have to be part of my mentorship program to get the invite for Slack. Did you sign up for it? Is that what you're saying? And you didn't get the Slack invite? All right. So you can see your site is working, right? So
Yeah.
if your site is working and your HTTPS is secure, but there's just the how it's just your site itself, right? The layout of your site is not working properly, right? And that
Okay.
is caused. Go ahead.
But but see, when I go to Microsoft and uh, Microsoft Edge, and I put it in.
Yeah, it's working. It's just saying that because it's not picking it up yet,
See,
right?
but see, it's working, but it's not secure. But I see the
Um,
HTTPS.
right. Yes, because your site is still not. Scroll down. So I will use Google Chrome, and so say your site is not really aligned. Scroll up. Okay, right. I see, but I'll go about what Google Chrome is saying. Right. Go to Google
Mm-hmm.
Chrome because if it doesn't work in one, I always use Google Chrome. Google Chrome is much better. Right. Did you stop sharing?
I ain't stopped sharing.
I can see your screen. I think you did.
All right. But see, once I'm in Google Chrome, it just buffers.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not seeing your screen.
All right. I'm sorry.
Like, yeah. So that's what I was trying to explain.
Uh, Damn, it keep going on. My bad.
No, I can see your screen now. So, so what I'm saying is this is caused by something else. And let me see your Docker file. You said this is the Docker project.
Yeah,
All right, let me see your Docker file.
I changed a bunch of stuff in my Docker file. I'm not even gonna hold
Why?
you. Because it was not reading it was not reading my reference, not my reference, my um env file. And I know in the Nest app, I know you taking it out of the zip file, and you have another zip file. So I just got the documentation from Claude where it doesn't have all of it, but I had to implement more stuff for it to actually function.
The
If
Docker
that
file
makes sense to you.
the Docker file that I gave you works. Um,
You talking about
so let me see your Docker file. Right. So just scroll down just slowly, right?
All right.
In your Docker file, just scroll down slowly. Let me see some. All right. So so
Oh, hold on. My bad.
that's what I'm saying. You don't need all this stuff. I
Okay.
mean, you got your site to work, right?
Right.
You got it to work, but you got it to work, but so typically when I give you guys the Docker file, right? So if you run into any issue with it, what I want you guys to do is more of trying to figure out where the issue is, right? So if you ask Claude and Claude just help you write something else, you are not really figuring out what the issue is, because the files that I give you guys the file does work, right?
Right.
So 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 most of the time, if you run into an issue, it
Mm-hmm.
is going to be something on your end. Sorry, my thing just dropped and my screen is now messing up. That's it. How do I get out of this?
Because Claude had me change my PHP file and everything. So I wanted to go and change it. I was like,
I can already see where your issue is, but sorry, I'm having some issue with my computer now. How do I get out of this thing? Let me just click and see. So I don't want that. Okay. All right. So I can already see where your issue is, right? So
where?
so in your Docker file, like I said, you don't need the Docker file that I gave you work. So all the install compose, pretty much line 8, line 79 to all that stuff you don't need, right? So,
Line 8.
but
Which
in
what line what
line,
line what line you reference to?
so line 79. So even how your line 60, 69, pretty much all the stuff that you have there is it works. So since it works, I'll say leave it, but you should still go back to the original file that I gave you
Mm-hmm.
and try to build your image that way too and see where the error is coming from. So
Okay.
go in that Docker reference that I gave you. You didn't change that one, right?
I don't think I did, but
Okay.
let me see.
Scroll down.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. You did, but I can still see right. So stop. So in this file, you change some stuff in it, but the Docker file works. The one I gave you guys works. So if you run into an issue, just try to figure out what the issue is. But here, what's going on is we have your line 67 here.
Mm-hmm.
So when our website is in HTTP and we convert from HTTP to HTTPS,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Since you are changing the behavior of how people are accessing your site from HTTP to HTTPS, there's going to be you need to modify your code, right? There's something in your code where you need to tell it, I'm going to be changing my HTTP, redirecting my traffic from HTTP to HTTPS. That is the point of line 67. So you see this app service provider.php file that I gave you that is in
Mm-hmm.
your thing. So
Mm-hmm.
click that app service provider.php file. It's over
I
there.
I I I changed that too.
Right. So yeah, so you have to just use whatever I gave you in the beginning. It does work. I promise you, it works.
Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
whatever you modified in it, you didn't need to change anything in it. It works. I'm
All right.
100% sure about that. Right. So the point of that file is we are changing so, and I can see it over there on line 22, right? Line 22 is we are forcing it to use HTTPS. That's what we see, right? So once the file that I gave you, I've already made that change. So I gave you that file. So I'm saying that when you are building your Docker image, you need to replace the one that is in your Docker image with this one. That is what, if you go back to your Docker reference, Docker file reference, that's what that line is talking about. Your Docker file reference. Right. Line
You're talking
67.
about 67.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
right. So that is copying the app service provider.php file that is over there, right? It's copying it and it's putting it in your Docker in that directory. That's the directory is going to be in your Docker file. So you are copying and putting it in there. Now go to your Docker file where you built your image, the real one you used to build your image, your Docker file. You don't have that line in there. I don't see it anywhere.
No, because I built it locally.
Yeah,
But no,
yeah, whether you
it's not
build it
in here.
locally, when you build it locally and you push your image to ECS, whatever you build locally is what's going to be there, right? So,
Right.
so I'm telling you that your website not loading properly is because you need to update that app service provider.php file. And in your Docker image that you built is not there. Your app service provider.php file is not updated. That's why your site is not loading properly.
Gotcha.
Right.
But
yeah, go ahead.
Since I do have it up and I do have all of it, is there a way that I can create an AMI for this particular for this particular project without uh the Docker file reference updating and changing everything? Since it's already up, can I make an AMI for it so I could just have it?
No, the Docker image is like your AMI.
Gotcha.
So this is
Yeah.
an ECS, so you can create an AMI of your ECS container, right? The image itself is kind of like your AMI, because whatever you already install on the image is what you will deploy in ECS. So you have to rebuild your image again, right? And you have to rebuild your image again and send your image. So I'm not sure if it's going to work because you've changed a bunch of stuff on it, right? But I'm saying that the original stuff that I gave you works. It's the same exact code I have now. And I can show you I'll build my image, push it to ECR and deploy my ECS and everything is going to work. So the original stuff that I gave you work. So you don't have to change anything in there, right? If you're running into any issues, then you need to try to figure out what the issue is and where the issue is coming from. So most likely it's something you're probably doing wrong, right?
Okay.
So,
all right, cool.
But to try to fix what you have now, let's do this. Because again, it might work, it might not work because you've changed a bunch of stuff. But all you have to do now, from what I see, it looks like your image is working. All you have to do is copy that line that I told you about. Go to your Docker file reference. Copy that line. Yeah. Right. But even your app service provider file, I'll say just use the original one that I gave you. Don't use this one. So
okay.
So copy this one for now and paste it in your Docker file. So go in your Docker file. So scroll down to maybe after you update your env file. So scroll down. Yeah, you can press enter online. Yeah. See where you are even making that providers directory. That directory is already there.
Okay.
So I don't know if you make it. Oh, okay. Maybe because it says create provider directory if it doesn't exist. But so maybe that line won't hurt anything because that provider directory is already there. So So paste it after that line, after that on line 81, press enter and paste it there. Press enter again and paste it on the right.
Right here.
Yeah, paste it there. All right. So now you need to, let's update your app service provider file. Go and do you still have the original copy that I gave you? Let me find it for
Because
you.
I kept the original in another. I think I kept it in another folder, but this was the folder that I kept that
What
I have it.
project?
But I should have it. I
Oh, this
should
is the
have it.
next. This is the next one. No, never mind. I'll send it to you. Don't worry.
But I took this app server provider file from another file that was, I think it was like Shopwise or something like that, or the Rent Zone. It was one of them that I took this from.
Yeah, but for the
But
next project, the code the app service provider file is already there.
but I never did the Nest app. But see, on your end, for as the project goes, you have it for Rent Zone, and I wanted that's the reason why all my files all jumbled up, because I wanted to deploy it with the Nest app without the Rent Zone configuration file. I
Okay.
wanted the
So
you
in the,
understand what I'm saying?
yeah, I understand. But in the, because so you know, for your assignment, right? Do you know where to get your assignment from, right?
Yeah.
The assignment you have to, right? So when I give you
Mm-hmm.
guys that assignment and I give you all the information for the assignment, the app service provider file is included in all the stuff I gave you guys to work on your stuff. You understand?
Even the Nest app.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, but it's fine. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah, I'll send it to you. Just a second.
I see the app service provider file, but I don't think
Yeah,
this is.
I named it this for all the project is name app service provider file, but I don't know which project for which project you downloaded this from. It's okay. I'll just
Okay.
send it to you on Slack. Don't worry about
Okay.
it. Link. That is running slow for some reason. It's probably because I'm doing like two things at once. Just a second. Okay. All right. I'll send it to you on Slack.
Okay. I see it.
So delete the one, delete the, so just click that cloud thing to download it. Then click open containing folder. Then just open your Visual Studio Code, right? So open your Visual Studio Code. Don't open the file. So close it. So just, yeah, open the file explorer. The one you don't download it again. You already downloaded. So it's just gonna create multiple copies of it. Yeah. So just drag that into there. Yeah. So why isn't it's probably not? So drag it, delete your file in there. Right. All right. Now drag that into on that next app files. No, drag it. It's not in that same folder. Yeah. And drag it there. Yeah, exactly. Move. Perfect. So now click on that that the code committing, the source control. Let me see something. The one that says one. Yeah. I don't see what changed in it. Then click on the app service, the changes you see the name on that changes. Yeah, click on that. So you can see all the stuff you added before. Right. So yeah. So but I know the one that I'm giving you work. So now rebuild your Docker image. So make sure you save your Docker file. So close this one, close that. Yeah. You can close this one too.
I
And
gotta save it
save your
first.
Docker file. Yeah. Then still on that.
Yeah,
How long did it usually take to build your Docker image? Did it take a while?
yeah, it took a while because it's pulling all those files from the GitHub repository, and I think it's like 157 megabytes or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, hello
It just,
Samura.
it just, yeah,
Well, did you ask me for some? Did you ask something?
for me.
No, I'm replying to
Uh-uh.
someone online. Sorry. What did you ask, Samura? How are you? Yeah. So we just have to wait because I want to see something. So do you know approximately how long it took? It's like going, is it going to take like,
It ain't gonna take like no hour or nothing like that.
okay.
It's just gonna take a minute, but
All right.
I mean,
Yeah, go ahead. Go, Sean, you can ask your question.
Hey,
Hello,
Fizz, I'm
hello,
out of
Alex.
town, so I'll make it quick. Did you ever share your that code for Kubernetes and Terraform? You ever share that code?
Oh, no, not yet. You want it?
Yeah, I want to try to build it, but
Okay.
before I do this, I'm gonna build it the way you build it, but then I
Mm-hmm.
want to try to build it using just not using EKS. I just want to build it through Kubernetes,
Oh, true
and,
Kubernetes. Okay.
and then I want to probably deploy it on Azure. So is there anything that prior to let me just build it first, and then I will tackle that when I get there. Because I
Yeah.
was asked, is there anything that I need to change? There's
Um,
changes going on.
probably, I mean, with so not really, right? Because I don't know the real Kubernetes, how that works, right? Because with the EKS, your control plane is pretty much done for you. So you're really just building your worker node. I think it will be different, but I don't know. But you can try. But the concept will probably still be the same, especially with Azure. It's probably the concept with AWS and Azure will probably be the same. But open source Kubernetes, I'm not sure.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like to if you could somehow
Yeah.
share the code,
I
like or whatever.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you now.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it. Have a good weekend. I'm out of
Hey,
town. So I'll talk
okay.
to you
All
later.
right. No problem. Yeah, have a good weekend too, and enjoy your time out of town.
All right, thank you. You
All right. Bye.
and this don't have to do anything with the tax revision, right? Because I had to change, I had to do that like two times
Which one?
for the for this particular project for the EKS cluster.
You say you had to change what?
I didn't have to change it. Where I kept it, it didn't work properly, and I thought that's where my problem was coming from my text definition, and I went to do it all over again from out of the EKS
Your
cluster.
tax definition is like it was, but your ECS service is not failing, right? If your ECS service is not failing, it has nothing to do with your setup. So
but but how do like when it came to the CPU utilization, how can I up the CPU utilization? How can I up it?
you have to
Can I
do that in your ECS configuration. That's where you change that at. So
okay.
you did this in the management console, right? I'll show you where you can change it. But that is not doing anything though. Your CPU utilization is not the issue. That is doing what it's supposed to do. Your
Okay.
CPU utilization is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So would you rather have a server running that is costing you money and nobody's using?
No, I do not. I do
Exactly.
not.
So that's what the CPU utilization is doing. It is removing the servers that are not being used, so you don't pay much money. So it's just like if you, let's say you're running your actual website, right? And you have the ECS running, that auto scaling group kicking off that alarm for the CPU utilization being lower than 63, that is removing the server. So that way you are not going to be spending money on it. And guess what? When people start to access your site and the CPU utilization starts to go up on the main server, right? If it needs
Mm-hmm.
an additional server, it is just going to recreate it for you.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So that is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. But I can show you where to change it. So you can let's go to your ECS console.
You still here?
Yeah, I'm here. So, so I go to your service. All right. So you see service auto scaling. Go to that, the tab.
Pop-up blockers.
So scroll down. So that policy, that's what's doing that. So you need to view that policy.
Which policy? This one?
Yeah, that one. So you see action, view it next to it. Right. So you see where it says there's CPU utilization 70, right?
Mm-hmm.
So view that policy. So yeah. So that's what's doing it. So close it. I'm trying to see where to edit it. Right. So you can see under actions, you can edit it there. Edit, right? So you can see
Ah,
here, it is
gotcha.
saying if your ECS service average CPU utilization is so policy would adjust right. So if your CPU utilization is, it has to be 70. It has to be if your CPU utilization is lower than 70 degrees, right? I mean, I said 70%, right?
Right.
It is going to just remove your extra server because you don't need it, right?
Right.
So the average of all your ECS container that you're running has to either be 70 or above. If it is lower than that, then it is going to just start removing stuff. And that is the behavior you want. So that's not really doing anything. I mean, it's just
Okay.
at this point, it's something you need to know of. That's not the reason why your stuff is your website is not working. I already explained why your website is not working, right? So cancel,
Right.
right? So click cancel here. Let me show you something else. So here, if you go back to, you see count, tax count. Here you are running
1 out of 4.
yeah, you are running, your minimum is 1 and your maximum is 4. So
Right.
your desired count is probably 2. So when we set it
Right.
up, we set it up to 2, right? To use 2.
Right.
So now you are running 2 containers. So when it detect that for your 2 containers, the CPU utilization is at 60 something. So that's why it removed it, the alarm kicked off and it removed 1. So that's exactly what we want to do. Alex, go ahead.
Sorry, I'll just let you finish with him because I need to share my screen.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you
Yeah,
had a question about this.
no.
All right. Oh yeah. So that is why that happened, Dylan. So this is working exactly how it's supposed to work. So you know how you will know the difference between, so let's say you are seeing let me tell you the difference between, it's not a CI/CD project, it is a Docker ECS project. So this is how, Dylan, this is how you'll be able to tell if the issue is coming from inside your website application or your deployment.
How?
If you can access your website, right? In your case, you can access your website,
Right.
right? And you can see your ECS service is running. It is showing 1
Mm-hmm.
running, right? It is
Mm-hmm.
showing you your deployment status is success.
Mm-hmm.
If you go in your target group, right? You go in your target group for that auto scaling group. I mean, for the load balancer. Your target group is healthy, right?
Yeah, but I'm supposed to have at least instead of total targets. I thought I did 2 of them, not just 1.
That's why I said your auto scaling group removed the other one because you don't need it because of
Gotcha.
the policy
Gotcha.
the auto scaling group policy that says if your CPU utilization is lower than 70 degrees, I don't want to run 2 servers. I want to only run 1. That is
Gotcha.
exactly
Gotcha.
what it's supposed to do. So that's why I
Gotcha.
removed one of it.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, right.
Got it.
So if people start using your server,
It goes up. Gotcha.
the CPU will go up and the auto scaling group will just recreate it again. You don't even have to worry about that. It will keep doing that on the back end. So that's that. But the main thing is here, your target group is healthy. So this is showing that whatever you deployed from your deployment standpoint, everything is working correctly.
Okay. Okay.
So that's how you'll be able to tell whether any issue you are facing is coming from the configuration on your application itself or your deployment. So in your case where you are able to access your website and it's just not doing, the behavior is not working exactly how you want it to work, is because of you are redirecting from HTTP to HTTPS. And you didn't tell yourself there's that app service provider file on your server. That is where you add that information that I want to redirect my traffic from HTTP to HTTPS. So that is what's causing the issue.
Okay. All right.
What happened?
It failed.
Now scroll up. Right. So here it is complaining about your so it's your git clone command. So go in your Docker file. I thought you used this image before and it worked. I mean the Docker file before. So
It
go in
did.
your Docker file. So go back up to where you are cloning right here. Stop. No, go down. Go down. Yeah, right here. Right. So
What is in the Docker reference?
so what I don't understand. The Docker reference is not doing anything. It's your Docker file that's building your image.
Right. But I know for as
Okay, go
this
in the
HTTP
Docker reference. Let's see.
and it's there, the git clone.
All right, so git clone, right? So
Yeah.
you can see,
I noticed in his Docker file, I see like the curly braces that are around the personal access token and all that stuff. If you go back to the Docker file.
yeah, I mean those are fine. That's how it's supposed to be, right? So
Right.
the how you will know what's causing the issue is, can you maximize your screen?
Okay.
I want to see the full error. No. I mean, like, make your screen full. Like, click on that box to make it full and make it smaller. It's too big. I can see, but I just want to see the full error, the one in the red.
Okay.
So, I mean, just, you see the X where you can close Visual Studio Code. I'm saying, like, just click on that box there to make it full screen. Yeah. So now go back to terminal. You'll find it in the terminal. Right. So here, let me see. I think you have a typo somewhere. So because that is supposed to pull your
And
git
there's
clone.
also a period at the end of the run git clone line 47.
Yeah, that's fine. Because it's just saying he wants to clone it into, that means that he wants to clone it into whatever directory is currently in. That's what that period is doing. So so in this your error, right? Drag that that URL that got created, right? I think there's a typo there. So copy that and paste it somewhere. Copy that whole thing. No, don't run it in there. I just want you to copy and scroll. It's in the terminal, just scroll back up. You'll see. No, it's in the same terminal. You clicked on something else now, yeah. So scroll up. Right. Okay, right there. So you see where it says 825, yeah, select everything and copy it up to copy that line and copy the second line. I think is how, yeah. Okay, copy that and copy it and open like another file and just paste that in there. And let me even compare it to there's a typo there somewhere. That's what's causing the issue. Right, no, just paste it in. Don't paste it in Google. You're not gonna paste it in like Visual Studio Code. So you see where your app service provider file is? Up there.
Right. Mm-hmm.
No, up there next to it. You see where the tab for it is up there. At the top. On your main screen, you see those tabs that are showing you the title of each file. So if you
Right.
guys want to create a new file, just double click in the open space next to the last tab. And paste it in. So if you want to paste something, don't click on that select, click on an empty space and paste it. All right. So you can see, so press backspace on this one. So there's a column at the so the thing is, I don't think your URL is forming correctly, and that's where you get the error. Your personal access token is coming in. So it should be HTTPS, your personal access token, at github.com, your username, code.git. So why is that? Go to your Docker file. Let me see your Docker file. So I think that's just the issue. Your git clone, personal access token,
I don't think this is supposed to be.
github.com. Yeah, it's there. It's supposed to be there. GitHub.com. GitHub username, repository name .git, right? So let me see your build image. Repository name. So cloning into. Scroll down here. So in your terminal, scroll down where those arrow is. Let me see what it's saying. Maybe you accidentally canceled it. Okay. Unexpected disconnect. I think you were the one that probably disconnected it. Build your image again. Right? It's working. I think you may have
Yeah.
probably accidentally kind of like disconnected it.
Okay.
Because if you press Control C while your terminal is building in that thing, it will close it. It will just kill whatever stuff you're running in your terminal.
So press not now, but after
Yeah.
everything is done.
No, don't press it. So I think the earlier when you get that error, you may have pressed some button on your keyboard that killed your terminal, but it's working because your command looks right. Okay.
this is all about troubleshooting right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's build.
There you go. It's
Yeah,
working. I
yeah,
think you just
yeah.
killed it earlier. Yeah.
Those are some of the common issues that you have to face doing writing, coding, and script running it 2 times. Is that
Uh,
something common like that?
I don't understand.
Like see how this personal access token it failed, but when you ran it again, it worked. Is that some of the common issues that you will face in a job where you'll have to run it 2 times instead of just once?
I mean, sometimes things can fail, but I think the first time it failed, you were the one that caused it to fail. I think
Okay.
you killed your terminal. That's why it failed. So it wasn't because it didn't. Sometimes, yeah, things does happen where you are trying to do something in AWS, right? It didn't work the first time. You Sometimes there's issues, yeah. But in this case, I think because the error that I was saying was saying that you killed something about killing the terminal. So that was why I said think. Because I was looking at your command in your script, everything looks correct. So that's why I got the idea that it might just be you killing the terminal. So yeah, but sometimes yeah, something may fail and you just run it again just to see. But if you keep getting the same error, then it might have to do with what you are doing.
Yeah, it copied the PHP file.
Mm-hmm. So all these other ones that Claude gave you or ChatGPT, I'm not sure if you really need them, but since you've already built your image before and it works, so I'll say leave it like this. But the image that I provided is a simpler version, and that one works too.
Okay.
So you don't need to do all that stuff.
Yeah, I was just trying to learn a little bit
Hello,
more,
Shanti.
see what Claude would give me, and see if and comparing it to what you have and what Claude have, and see what works for me. See if okay, all right. If Claude gave me this, I know your application it works. I like, okay, if I've run into a problem, I was like, let me see if Claude can help me out with it, and what I have to go back into and what I have to change around for what Claude had. And I'm just, I know I don't have to do anything with your specific script, but I wanted to do something a little bit different
Okay,
than
yeah,
what you
that's
have.
fine. That's fine, but the thing is was what Claude giving you helping you learn what you need to learn? Because if Claude gives you something and you use it, you need to be able to explain it. So if I take your Docker file now and I say, okay, explain what is going on in your Docker file, will you be able to do that? So the ultimate goal is to learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what I always say, completing the project is the least of the things we have to do. So if it takes you, let's say 3 months to work on a project and you struggle through it, and through those 3 months you are troubleshooting different things and you are learning, you are building, and at the end of the day, you got to 90 something percent. A lot of the things you troubleshooted along the way and learned that becomes your knowledge and you learned it. That is what is more important than,
Right.
let's say,
Okay.
you start a project and you were able to complete it in a week using ChatGPT or Claude to solve the issue. So the ultimate thing we are trying to do is learn, right?
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Claude
You are
can
right.
help you solve the problem, but my thing is whatever you copy paste there, you have to be able to explain it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So for future reference, just leave it how it is. And like I tell myself to explain it. How would you explain it from from your examples that you give on the
It- yeah. So you feel free to, even if I give you a code, like feel free to change it. So the main thing is just when you change it, you have to be able to explain the reasons why you are changing it. So it's the why. So for
Gotcha.
example, like
Okay.
this command that is running now, the
Mhm.
previous command I ran, this command that's running now, why are we running this command? Right?
We want to build a Docker image,
No.
with
Now
the
I'm talking about this command. We're building our Docker image. Yes, that's the overall stuff, but line 25 or for 25 that is currently running now. That's the command that's currently building on your Docker file. And
okay.
the one before it, line 24 of 25, why are we doing that? What is the purpose of doing that? So for example, when I gave you line 21 of 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
21 of 25, which is copy your app service provider.php file, right? I
Mm-hmm.
explained to you why, the reasons why we need to have that in there, because I explained what it is doing. So now we have line 22 of 25, 23 of 25, 24 of 25, those commands. Why are those commands there? What are they doing? Right. So that's what you have to be able to explain. So it's more than it helped me, I got through the issue. But because whatever Claude is giving you, you need to be able to explain.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let's see over. Good evening. So it's almost done.
Right. Yeah. Found 2 warnings, but it's done.
All right. So now push your image. You have to push your image to ECR. So close this file you have on the screen. Close it.
My VS Code.
Yeah, this build image. Just don't close your VS Code. But I mean, this file if you currently have up, close that file.
I don't know which file you're looking at.
The one
Which,
that's I'm saying your build argument. Close that file. You see this tab you have open on your screen right now? Close that tab. I'm just saying, yeah, it's the same way, exactly the same way you X out of it. I'm X out of this build image. That's the one that's showing. Don't save it. So yeah, I'm saying, yeah, close this file. Yeah, just click, you see the build image.ps1, just click the export and to close it. Yeah.
Don't worry. I know why you saying that. I'm gonna change all that around.
Yeah,
Or
sure.
the
Yeah, that's the only thing you need to
passcodes and all
update is
that.
just your personal access token. That's all. Yeah, just create a new personal access token. So you need to
Right
push
now?
no, not right now, but like you need to push your image to ECR. No, that's
Oh. Yeah.
like
Okay. All right. Yeah.
the image you
Yeah.
just
I
built.
got you. Got it somewhere around here. Hold
I
on.
can give you the command if you don't have it.
I have it. I have it. I thought I had it. No. Yeah. Can you send it to me?
Okay.
I thought I had it.
That's fine.
Ah, here we go. Yeah, I have it.
All right, cool.
Okay.
So, so hold on.
I think you're using the wrong command.
So your image is just type docker image ls. In that build image thing, you just docker image ls. Type docker image ls, let's see. Because I don't think your image name is the same. I think you've changed it.
No. Yeah, I did.
How come there's no image there? What happened to the image you just built? Type docker image ls again. Listen. So go in open that your build spec thing again. Your build image the PS1 file. I want to say what name you called it. So you called it Nest app, right?
Right.
So go to your command, the one you were about to run.
Okay.
No, in your other file, the command where you copied your files from. Right. So you need to change that. You see how that one says files? You called it Nest app. So you need to remove that file. You still have a dash there.
Do I remove
Yes, remove it. Remove the files there too. Right. That was what you call it, right? Nest app.
I believe so. Let me see.
Right. Yeah. Right. So now copy that and run that lesson. You have a D there before. Do you remove that one before you paste it? Just press enter. There you go. Just so you know, I think you deleted your Docker tag command from your file. So that way you don't save it. So run this command first to
I
push
got
it.
you. I got you.
Then just go back to that file and
And paste it back. I got you.
right. Okay. So you see this one, your repository does not exist. So you have to create the repository. Right. So
Okay.
in the other one, yours is probably a Nest app file. So that's why. So go back to your script, your script that you are running, the command. Right. Press Ctrl Z to undo. It's probably not gonna undo it, huh?
No.
Okay, it's fine. But you can get the command from there later. So what you need to do is go back to that script. Just run the first one, they create the ECR one, run that one, but remove the files, not that one, the one above that one. The one above the Docker tag image, that one. But change your name. No, remove the dash. All right, copy it. Now press enter. Just keep pressing enter there. Just keep pressing enter. Continue to press enter until you get to the end. All right. Now run your Docker push. So go copy your Docker push command again. Don't copy it from in here.
Don't
Copy it
copy.
from, or if you want to rerun a command there, press up key, but don't copy a command like that from the terminal. So you can either press up arrow key to bring the previous command you ran, or you can copy it back from here, but don't try to copy it like that.
Okay.
So press up again. That's the command. Then press enter. That's all you need to do. You don't need to do anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my my retag image
Oh, okay.
back
Well,
in.
once
Yeah.
this is done, then you can try to copy it back from your terminal. So
Gotcha.
you understand? Because you still have in your terminal, so copy it from there and paste it back here. But I'm saying, like, if you want to run a command, rerun a command in the terminal, don't try to copy it from the terminal and try to paste it back in there. Either just do the up thing or copy it back from your script. Don't because when you try to copy from terminal, the formatting might be wrong sometimes. So it's not a good practice to copy commands that way.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Don't do that now, or else it's gonna fail. Right. So you're still running your command, right? You're still pushing
Right.
your image. If you press Control C, it's going to kill your terminal. Right. So you have to wait till this one is done before you do that. Hello, font size. Hello, Adex. Adex, thank you. I appreciate it. So you guys understand, right? Um, with the projects, when you are working on the projects or anything, the main goal is to learn. So the completing it is good, but the main if you can complete 70% of the project and understand 70% of the project is better than completing 100% of the project and not understanding anything. So when you guys are working on a project, that's the main thing I want you guys to always focus on. Like focus on the why we're doing something. Even if I put something there, feel free to change it. So I'm not saying that you have to use exactly what I use. I even prefer that you guys change some stuff, but only change stuff if you understand what you are changing and why you want to change it that way. So let's say in one of that project, I told you guys the Terraform project, I said use an AMI from the previous project. And when you are working on a Terraform project, you say, you know what, I don't want to use the AMI from the project. I want to use Terraform to configure my server, right? And also migrate my data. Then do that. So that shows that you understand what you are doing and you are learning. That is better than so when you change stuff, that's what I mean. Change things in a way where you can explain exactly what you did. Because I'm only saying that because once you go to the interview and you start interviewing, what you are going to rely on is things you know. At that point, you might not even get an opportunity to present the project you've completed. So let's say you've completed 10 projects, but you can't explain anything about those projects. That's going to hurt you because during the interview, they're not going to tell you. Most of the time, they don't tell you to show me. They won't say, "Oh, show me the application you've deployed," because anyone can get a code from anyone's GitHub repository and deploy it. But if you share your code with them and you can explain line for line what is in your code, that proves that you know what you are doing. So, which is why I'm always emphasizing on focusing on the learning part of it instead of completing it. You still complete it, but make sure everything that we are doing, you learn, you understand what the reasons why we are doing it. So if you ask me any of the code that I've written, whether if it's a code I've asked Claude to write for me or a code I've written myself, I can explain every single line on my code, every single line. I don't care if it's 500 lines long, I can explain every single line. Because even sometimes when I ask Claude to write stuff for me and they write something, I would copy the parts that I don't understand out and I'll tell it I don't understand this part. Can you explain it? And if it explains it and I see that, okay, and I'll tell it, okay, write it in a simpler way. I don't want, because sometimes they would want to write some fancy thing. And I just say, write it in a simpler way. That in case when I look at it in the future, I understand what I'm looking at. So it's really the learning that's more important.
That was my experience during my interview this past Monday.
Oh, how did it go? You had to share, you had to do the code test, right? Sharing the screen.
Oh, yes. So, I mean, just sorry to interrupt the
No, you're
person.
fine. You're fine. It was
Nah, you
it's just
good.
building this.
Well, it went well. It went well. It went well. So of course, exactly how you explain it right now, I already set a trap for the interviewer regarding the Terraform project that I did and my custom domain name so that he can at least access it on his own hand.
Mhm.
So, but I just don't want to be too forward because anybody can put the Terraform script for me and claim it as my own.
Mhm.
So, for some reason, I don't know that early in the morning, I was just refreshing my memory as far as auto scaling and load balancing was concerned, which I did. I'm not exaggerating. I destroyed it and I rebuilt it almost 5 times. But to go straight to your question, and this guy met with me on Monday, exactly 4 p.m. as it was scheduled. And we exchanged pleasantry just for few minutes. I was checking the time because he was not the one who did the first interview. So, and then sent me an instance ID 2 on my chat. And he said, okay, so I have these two servers, but for some reason, he was trying to access them using the load balancing DNS and is unable to access it. And he said I should help him out. Okay. So as soon as he said that, honestly, 95% of me, I was so excited because that's Monday. That was what I was doing. So then I was I was giving him, like instruction of how I'm going to be able to solve it. But the first thing that came to my mind was security group. So I told him, I said, hey, so what I'm going to do, because then I think I saw 502 enable bad gateway or something. So we started with security group just to find out that there was no HTTP port 80 opened. So while I was guiding him, he said that it's taking too much time, that is going to let me take over, that I can remote and do it. So while I was doing it, my experience was that it took forever because it was lagging on my end because I was doing it remotely. But I succeeded to configure the port 80 and I added that. So that was not there. So it nodded his head. So I copied that DNS, went on the browser, but it was not solved. Okay, so I said, okay, I checked the target group. I could see that two instances were on LT, which I brought to his attention. So I said, okay, what I'm going to do right now is to go into the my instance to see if maybe the packages were not properly downloaded and all of those. So he said, okay, fine, walk me through it. So long story short, of course, this guy, he has, I wish I can show you my screen, but it's not necessary. I will just say it. He has, I'm not exaggerating. I won't, maybe almost, I can't count it, but it's a lot of things that he opened on his browser. So making it so challenging, so difficult for me to know which one is which. So I said, okay, look, I'm trying to check your instance, but you have a lot of them, but I don't know, and there is no descriptive names that I will be able to know. Could you help me and know the name of your instance? You know what this guy said? He said, I don't think I'm supposed to tell you that. He said that. I said, okay, all right. So, but don't forget that this guy have already sent two instance ID. He have already sent that on my chat, and that is where sorry, I wanted to say fuck off. That is where I messed up. Okay. So what I will have done is to copy that instance ID that is sent to my chat and copy it, paste it, so that we'll be able to filter the exact instance that I want to inspect. So that I was kind of struggling, and he was smiling because he told me. So, but there's this something on the inside of me. I don't want to say stubbornness, but I was just being positive and I was so like, I still maintain my lane that, look, this is what I want to achieve. So while I kept telling him, he said, okay, okay, I heard you, but just, I mean, you have all the takes, go ahead. So long story short, I think he ran out of patience and all of that kind of thing. So, but this is what I told him. This is what I told him. I said, look, for your information, I have auto scaling and load balancing related project. If you don't mind, I could share my screen for you. And this is what I said to quickly go straight to, because if I don't say all of these, you guys might not be able to get the full details of what I'm trying to pass across, in addition to what Aziz just told us. So I said, well, what I wanted to do is to connect to the instance to first see if it is running. And if it is running, I want to make sure that it has enough packages. And then the way I will go about that is, if it is Linux, I will just run shinbag bin bash yum update flag y, yum install flag y, httpd. So I run all of those. Thank God that I have those offhand. After telling him, I said I will just cd var for, forward slash var forward slash www dot forward slash html, check the index, just put h in just one add html there, and then I will now restart it, enable the httpd. And if it is Ubuntu, I also told him everything, which is apt update flag y. So while I was telling him all of those, he was smiling and nodding his head. But you know what he said in conclusion? He said, "Oh, but you never do it. You didn't do it," kind of a thing. So I said, even if I get it done and I refresh the browser, I click DNS and nothing, then the last thing that I will suspect will be the route. Maybe there is the route that has been missed. So everything that I was telling him, he was nodding his head. So I said, look, you gave me this thing to remote, but it was lagging on my head. I wish you see it. So in conclusion, to answer you, he knew that I know what I was talking about theoretically, but just for me. So when I told him, I said, well, I wish you could give me another opportunity. So that was that was when he started smiling and he was like, okay, you know what? I will think about it. I will think about it. So that was how the whole thing, you know, ended. But I was glad that I know what I was explaining because I mentioned target, I mentioned everything. So imagine I didn't do my homework as far as the how all of these things works, what could have brought about that issue that I was facing when I use the load balancing DNS link. Okay. So that was just the old thing, Sha, in a nutshell. So um and I don't know how many participant or candidate that he has left, but the good thing is I defended it and I told him everything. He looked at me and he said, okay, all right, fair enough for you to say that. Then I said, I don't want to sound disrespectful by telling him all of these numerous tabs he has opened because he will have defended it by saying, look, I gave you that instance ID. And that was where I got it wrong. Indeed, if I was able to use that instance ID to filter it, everything will have just been sorted out and will have passed it. The next round they will have moved me to is just to conclude on the bargaining of whatever that is called. But hey, it's an experience. So I'm hoping he is going to reconsider to give me another thing. I don't know, but I saw him nodding his head and smiling, just then. So that is just what Aziz was telling us, that it is good to know it because, and he said it that we might not be given that opportunity to present all this project because they are also smart these days that a friend can help me out and all of those things. So yeah, that was just the whole thing. So if they reconsider me, fine. If it doesn't, I learn another thing that the instance ID is there for me to use to filter it. So that's just it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so thank you. Which is, I mean, I think you did good for the most part. And also for future reference, if you are checking something, even if it didn't give you the instance ID, at that point when you went into the target group, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the targets that are unhealthy, it will
Uh-huh.
show you the IP address there, and you could have still filtered it that way too.
Okay.
Assuming it didn't even give you those instance ID, right? The
Oh,
target group always has the IP address of the server that is unhealthy. So you can also filter it that way,
okay.
right? So many times when they are doing those live tests, really they are just trying to look at how you go about solving problem. And he may have just even create all those tabs there intentionally to try to throw you off, right? And the main thing is looking at is how you go about solving problem. So
Right.
I think is a good,
That's
hopefully he gives you a call back.
yeah.
Um
I don't know how
it's
many people and how
Yeah,
they
sometimes he's probably gonna run through all the other people he has to
yeah.
interview. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but sometimes yeah, that's how it is. They are always looking to see how you go about solving problem, which is why I said nowadays it doesn't even make sense to try to want to show them your project. Showing them like you said, and I told you guys many times, showing your project don't mean anything anymore because you can have ChatGPT write you the whole code, and you can just learn how to deploy it and say we'll work it. So rather instead of saying I have a project to present, you can share it from the code standpoint. I have a I have a code for a project that I worked on. That you can go through the code, explain it. Then at the end, if you can have the site deployed before and then say this is the site. But so really what you have to understand is the code of what you deploy. Not they don't care about the website anymore or you showing them that okay, I deployed this. So
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
why I
but
said,
but it's
yeah, go
also
ahead.
good to have it because had they been they asked, that will have been another opportunity for me to shine because I know what I'll be talking about as far as
Mhm.
that Terraform
Mhm.
project was concerned, because of course it's your Terraform project, and I took them
Mhm.
to my own, using my own web, script and all of those things. Okay, but it would be childish for me to bring that up in that conversation. So if I know they are looking for IAC, somebody and all of those things, of course they are using Terraform. I did an interview, not too long too. They're so big in Polomi. I was like, no, I'm not going to start my life learning Polomi. I'm good with CloudFormation and Terraform for now.
Mhm.
Anyway, so that was what I did. Was I just left that, like I said, just like a trap. I run Terraform, apply, auto approve for that one. So if peradventure the conversation went in that direction, I will have slid it in, because a friend just got a job too. He said, "Oh, is there any project you can share with us?" Okay, so
Mhm.
but for the most part, they will be the one to want to test, which I like, what you said.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. That
So
is the
it's
lesson
yeah,
I'm
I have
learning
the
now.
yeah, I agree. I have the projects in hand, but most of the time they may not have you share your project. It could be a thing, something they make room for at the end, but they would have their code and whatever they want you to test. So, and I've always said they're not going to give you anything too big. Like when they give you something, the test is fairly things you can do because they understand that there's time constraint. You're not going to be there for 10 hours unless if you, there's only like when I was interviewing with Capital One that I was in that interview all day, literally from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I don't like interviews like that. So other than that, you're not going to be there all day. So things they will give you are like fairly simple tasks that at the if you say you are advanced to the point where you are ready for work, it will be things you'll be able to do. So
Yeah.
which is why I said your ability to solve problem, and even also, and I learned this from my lead when I did work for Capital One is even as little things as when you share your screen, just understanding, being efficient at knowing how to use your Visual Studio Code, being efficient at knowing how to use your terminal. You know, if you need to run a command, like understanding, like, okay, if I'm typing the name of a file and I'm in the same directory, I can tab, understanding how to create a new file in your Visual Studio Code. Those are all the things they look at. You can, especially when you share your screen, be a, you can't act like a rookie. And it's okay if you don't know certain things, but basic things that they expect you to know, they just expect you to know it, right? Like at that point, if someone is telling you to share your screen and when you are doing your job interview, they shouldn't have to teach you how to open a file or how to create a file or just basic things you need to understand. So sometimes you guys shouldn't also underestimate your ability to get comfortable with sharing your screen. And when you are working on your project, which is why I always recommend that if it's something you are doing consistently, learn how to um, learn how to make that efficient by understanding how you can tab. Maybe if it's tab you can use, or just how you can just make your screen sharing process uh, much efficient. That is also part of it too. Because sometimes when you share your screen and you don't know exactly how to do stuff, you don't know where stuff is, they'll just look at, okay, how you supposed, because if you've been working with this thing for a while, you know where things are, so uh, that is also part of the experience. So again, main thing is your ability to solve problems. That's what being a cloud engineer is about.
Yeah.
Is the ability to solve problems. So when you are working on the project, the more problems you have, the better, because then you'll be able to think through it. So, which is why I always say I don't care that you guys complete the project. I care more about things you are learning along the way. But it sounds like a good experience. So hopefully,
Yes.
you get a call back, and if not, it's just there's many more
Oh,
opportunities.
of course. I still just bombarding the internet by applying non-stop.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that security group will have been another trial, but thank God that I was able to figure that out real quick. And I
You did
explained
it.
I
Yeah,
was
you
talking,
did.
I was doing it, I was just explaining it, dissecting everything to make sure that, and then it was just like, okay, it was, I mean, I made sure that I got his attention and I'm not talking like a newbie, so to say. So,
Mhm. Yeah, you did the right thing by checking. You did actually you had the right idea. You checked all the things
oh
in the
yeah,
steps that I would have checked it to. I would have started with I would have probably started at the target group, then from there go check the security group, then from there SSH into the instance. Yes, trying to check where the file is. Another thing we need to which I don't usually check the logs, but really I don't, I just always know what directory I need to go in, but checking logs too on the EC2 would be better. But you did all the right, you took all the right steps. So
okay, thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, next time just don't let them throw you off. If you ask, just tell them that I need to close some of these tabs. Do you
Oh yeah,
mind?
yeah, that is what I learned too. I have to be more bold.
Just you have to just be direct. If he says most likely he's probably gonna say yes. It's like, yeah, I need to close some of this tab. But yes, from the target group standpoint, just whatever instance is filling, the ID of that instance will at
Yeah,
least the IP will be there. Then you
yeah.
can use the IP to filter it.
Correct.
Yeah.
I never knew that. Because, sorry, I don't mean to hold us. I realized that the name of the company, the name of that particular company, I could see some instances running that it labeled using that company's name. And there was a time I click on one particular tab, I nearly open his email, which will not be professional, perhaps, maybe something confidential. So I was
Mhm.
being mindful of that.
I see.
So, but
Yeah.
it's true. Like, there's this just something from my own background as a Nigerian Yoruba. Like, I don't want to be kind of too forward by saying, "Oh, close this down." But there is a better way I will have presented it that it will make sense. But Aziz, you are very, very right. And that was exactly when that meeting finished. I was like, "Oh, Jide, you should have just kind of put it this way for him." But hey, it's a beautiful experience. I mean, for me to have gotten this far on that round, so it's a blessing to me.
Yeah. It's okay. I mean, you get many more opportunity.
Yeah,
So
thanks.
don't worry about it.
Thanks.
Okay. Dylan, your
Yes.
thing is still building, it's still pushing your image. Can you scroll down? Let me see.
Yes.
All right, let me just help Alex. Then once your stuff is done pushing, then
No, I just
I
wanted
can.
to add to what Jide was saying. Would it
Okay.
have been, I mean, in your perspective, would it have been a good idea to have actually suggested to the guy, the interviewer, that his naming convention was a bit off? Like, like, of course, you're supposed to be the expert, so you're supposed to tell him if he has instances running that are not named. I would have mentioned that to him. That this should,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So, but not in that instance where he's asking you to solve something. So,
yeah,
the suggestion can come after you've solved the problem,
yeah, yeah.
and and at the end you give him a summary. Okay, this is how I solved this problem. For future reference, this is what I would do to improve it. Then you can now
Mm.
throw it there. So you're right, but you have to do it in a way that so if someone is saying my instance is not working
Mm.
and is asking you to troubleshoot it, you can't just right off the bat and say, oh, your instance is not named correctly, right? So
No,
it's
no, no,
gonna
that's not what I said. I said because
yeah,
Gideon had mentioned that he had like several instances opened that didn't
yeah,
actually have any. The naming convention was off. I mean,
yeah,
obviously, I would still attend to the question,
yeah,
and then like I
exactly,
said at the end
exactly.
of it, then I'll have said, what I mean, for
I agree.
best
I agree.
best practices. What I mean, it'd be better for you to actually do name
So
this instances just to show them that you know what you're talking about.
I
yeah, but
agree.
so thank you for bringing that up. Like I said, remember I said something right now that there was just something on the inside of me. Maybe I don't want to sound disrespectful, but you know what? After I told him everything and I articulated everything right, and I looked at him straight in the camera, and he was responding by nodding his head, by smiling, but he now concluded by saying, "Oh, but you didn't do it like so." In other words, he knew that the way I said it, I will have solved the problem. Number one. Then number two, he said emphatically, he said, "But I sent you the instance ID, you will have copied the instance ID and pasted. So if I now go in that direction of the naming convention is what threw me off. I don't know if we'll be able to accept that because later after that meeting, I quickly spin up 2 servers and I deliberately don't want to name them. Do you know that using and then I have 2 servers that I already stopped making 4. So I now acquire those 4 instances. So I now use the same instance ID that is sent to me. I copied my own to filter it. And that just same one instance will have just been on the screen. Either this was named correctly. So in not from his own hand, he was saying with my years, that shouldn't have been an excuse. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm not defending people, but
Yeah, I agree because that's what I'm saying too. At the end, it could be part of suggestion how after you've resolved the issue, how you both are right. But and what I'm saying is I'm agreeing with you that at the end, when you've solved the problem, that could be part of that's the only time you can bring up the naming convention. You can bring it up before then because just like Mr. Babajide is saying, what he gave you is banking on you understanding the fact that no matter if I give you 100 tabs and everything is all over the place, there are things you can use to filter your EC2 instance to get specifically to the ones you want. So that's what he's relying on. Even if he didn't give you that ID, that instance ID, like I said, you could have done it through the target group.
exactly. Thank
You
you.
could have even in your you go to the target group, you see your servers that are on LT, you see the IP there, you go back to the console, you filter it through there. That's what he wants to see. And Mr. Bajide is right. He's relying on the fact that you have enough information to still do what I'm asking you to
Yeah,
do.
that was what he told me. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But thank you anyway. Thank you. I guess they are still going through like other people. I don't know how far those people will be able to make it, but hey, it's not the end of the world, but it's a wonderful experience. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Right.
Yeah. Alex, do you still need help
Yeah,
with
yeah, I do. I want to share my screen. I have an issue with somebody else is sharing.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, I was on the CI/CD project, right?
Mhm.
And can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I have the it's been deployed.
Mhm.
The application is not working. It says it's timing out.
It has to do with your EC2. I mean, and your security group.
My security group. I just used the um the code that you provided because
Okay.
I didn't want to change it.
Right. So this was something I provided where online.
No, no,
I think this is the one I did on like my YouTube or something like that, right?
no. This is from the courses. The last one, the CICD one, the last one.
Okay.
I
Okay.
checked everything and I didn't see an issue with the deployment.
All right. So timeout has to do with your security group.
Hmm.
Or or if something is timing out, that's the first place you check. Check your security group and check your if it's not your security group, check your VPC. Like something is something in your network is not configured correctly. That's where the timer will come from, right? So is it deployed now?
Yeah. That's
All right,
here.
let's see.
1 second. So this is you said to go to the VPC, right?
So this one we deployed it in the default VPC, right?
Um,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
just going to see. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm suspecting is there might be an issue in your default VPC where you've probably delete some stuff in there, right? I
Okay.
say this is very common where you've delete some stuff in there. So first, let's check the security groups of your instance, right? Well, you say you use the same exact code as I.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't change
So
the code.
so the issue is probably your default VPC then. So your default VPC is probably not configured correctly
Mhm.
to sometimes when people are removing things, they accidentally delete something in their default VPC. So I'll say delete whatever you've created, whatever you've launched, destroyed. So it removes the EC2 instance. Then we will delete your default VPC, then we'll recreate it again.
You don't have to delete his Terraform lock file.
No,
No.
You don't have to do
you only do that in if you have an issue in the Terraform module. I mean, is doing the same thing, right? He's trying to delete his infrastructure, so he needs his Terraform lock thing. So that only the deleting it only applies to Terraform module if you are trying to get your configuration from your backend module and it's not working, then you can delete it. But in just regular Terraform apply, no, you don't need to.
Okay.
Hello, Storyline.
I pushed the image to
Okay. All right.
VCR.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Just hold on for a second. Once I'm done
Mm-hmm.
with Alex,
Mm-hmm.
then I'll show you what you need to do the next.
Okay.
All right.
So what do
All
we
right.
do?
So go back to your console and delete your default VPC. So go to VPC. And select, okay, yeah. Sorry. So in your VPC, select your default VPC, then click actions and you'll see the delete button there. So you've selected, click actions over there, right next to create VPC actions.
Hold on one second. I can't see the screen because this thing is there.
Oh, okay.
Where did you move it to? Okay. Edit VPC, you said, or delete.
No, delete the VPC. Acknowledge. Delete default VPC.
Delete.
You have to type it in there. I'll copy that one.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So now, no. So refresh. All right. Now click that actions again. You see, create default VPC and create default VPC. Perfect. So now everything is back to where it should be. So
Okay.
now run your Terraform code again. So is that how are we getting that default VPC? Go to let me see your Terraform code, your EC2 part. Okay, so I say we are directly pulling it. So scroll down. So we are pulling our default VPC. So what about go to the EC2 section? How are you getting we hard code the subnet ID? Right there. Okay, so we are getting okay. The default VPC is the one ID, subnet ID. So we just randomly pulling a subnet from there. Okay. So there's nothing that's hard coded. Now you can run it.
Don't it supposed to be the instant ID supposed to be T3 micro?
No, you can use
Oh,
T2. I
you can
mean,
use T2.
You do too. Okay.
yeah, it's the same things. If we are working on a certain project like Kubernetes, if we are working on Kubernetes, you can use T2. That's why we are using T3 or something like that. But for regular simple deployment like this, you can use T2.
Okay.
Yeah, storyline, you have to try to sign in. Then once they send me the link, once they send me the code, I'll forward it to you. That's why. So usually it used to be password authentication, but they've changed it. There you go.
Okay, it's working now. So the issue basically was just that was just this sorry, this where is it again? What am I doing? Where is it? Yeah. So it was just the VP, the default VPC that I just needed to delete.
Yeah, so so anytime you see a connection timeout,
Mm-hmm.
it has to do with your network, which
Okay.
is your VPC, right?
Okay.
So you start by checking your security group, checking. So once I checked your security group and you said that you're using the same code, I know, okay, it's not the security group.
Mm.
I know it has to be something with your either your route table or something like that. But I
Yeah.
didn't feel like troubleshooting your default VPC because you don't troubleshoot default VPC, just delete it and recreate it.
Okay.
So if it was your own custom VPC, the next thing I would have looked at is your route table.
Yeah.
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 So
But I would have done
anytime,
it as well anyway. I would have checked the route table, but because it was a default VPC, I just thought everything should be fine. So I
exactly,
think that I
exactly,
needed to go
exactly,
and delete it
exactly,
and then rerun and then build it again.
exactly. So
Create it.
it's because at some point you may have accidentally deleted something
Mm.
in it. Maybe your route table, maybe when you were cleaning up stuff. People do this.
Yeah.
It's very common. I think AWS knows this. That's why they even have the create default VPC button up there,
Yeah.
right? So, and I learned this too in back when I was learning the first time. Yeah, it's something that has happened to me. So that was ever since then I remember.
Okay.
So anytime you guys are doing something in your default VPC, you are getting connection timeout, most likely if it's not the security group, then just default VPC is probably not configured correctly. So just delete it and recreate it. So that's
Right.
the main thing. But the main thing is connection timeout has to do with either security group or your network. That's it.
That's it.
It wouldn't come from anywhere else.
Mm.
It means that the traffic is trying to get to your server, but it's being rejected. So yeah,
Okay. All right. Thank you.
no problem.
Yeah.
So try to log in now if you can. And once they send me the code, I'll tell you what the code is here. All right, Dylan, you can share your screen.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can. So now go to your ECS console. All right. So the first thing we are going to do is we will update your because you change your image tag now, not your image
Yeah.
tag, your image name. Because before, I think in the first one you ran, you had files at the end, but
Yeah.
now in the latest one you built, it was just Nest app. So go to your ACS service, and we would update your tags definition. Yeah, which one? You say you have two tax definition.
Yeah.
So go to your service. So we'll just get it from your service. Go to your service. I don't know which one you are using.
All right.
So go to your ECS service. No, your ECS service. No, stay there. Yeah. All right. Yeah, cluster. Uh, service. Scroll down. Scroll down. Okay. Is that it? Scroll up. Maybe the tax definition will be somewhere. Go. Scroll. Okay, scroll now. Select tax tab. The tax tab should be here. It's right under that thing. Yeah, drag that down. No, drag it down. Yeah, scroll down and up. Yeah, right there. Select that tax. Yeah. And yeah. Okay. So scroll the one at the top. No, leave it down. Then the one at the top, scroll it down so you can see. All right. Container. All right there. Tax definition. You see,
No, I do not see the tax
it's
definition.
right above. Stop. Right there. Stop. Don't move your mouse screen. It's right there. Up. Look up. Move your mouse up. Right there. That one. It's the one you call Nest app. So that's the one you need to update. So select it. Then click create a new
Action.
revision.
Oh,
Create a new revision. Yeah. Then you just need to scroll down to where your container is, your container image. Keep scrolling down. Right here, right? So you see
right.
how your URI is still using the Nest app
Mhm.
files in the URI section. Don't scroll, just leave it where it is. Right there where it has the container details. Up
80
there.
TCP.
Yeah, but no, in the container details, you see where you have the name. The name says Nest app, and the URI. Look at the URI. Look at the end of your URI. You see it's saying Nest app files,
Got you.
right? So
Got
you
you.
need to go to your ECR. Don't close the screen. Just stay exactly where it is. Open a new tab, right? Go to your ECR and get the URI of the image you just built and you pushed. Not that one. No, select it. Yeah. Select it. Select the latest two. Now copy the URI. Hello, ATA. How are you? Hope all is well. And how's your fasting going? So go back
Okay.
to once you copy that URI, go back to where the other one we have open.
Got you.
All right, now paste it in that image URI. All right, scroll down. Scroll all the way down. Don't change anything. Scroll all the way down. All the way down. And create. All right. So you've updated your tax definition. So now your tax definition is going to be on version 2. You can see it's saying version 2 over there. Where you see in the upper left-hand corner right there, right where your mouse is. You see where it says TD, Nest app TD, colon 2. Right. So now but your ECS service, is still using version 1. Understand?
Okay.
So you have to go update your ECS service to use the new version. So that's how you pick up the new image. No, you can stay, you don't have to, you're in the same thing, right? So click cluster over there. Click cluster. Select your cluster. All right. Select your set. Scroll down and select your service. Then scroll up over here. Update service. So you see over here where your family, your thing, yeah, exactly. So change it to 2. So before you scroll down, click, you see that force new deployment, check that box. So that means it would delete your container that you currently have now, and you want it to delete that one and force a new one to use the new image. So now I'll scroll all the way down and click on whatever is there, update. All right, so we just close those green things. So we just have to wait now and see. Refresh your page. All right, so what it is doing, you can see it is. Did you guys
Yeah.
ever notice? Do you guys ever notice that ECS use blue-green deployment? For those of you guys that knows what that means.
I know I know it use it. The green means is running. The blue I think is trying to update it, I believe,
So
or
the
in
blue-green,
progress.
I think the blue-green deployment means that, so when you have a server running, right? I think it would, and you are trying to create a new one, it will first create the new one before removing your other one, right? It won't just remove it. Because if you remove, let's say you have a server running, right? And people are using that server to access your site. If you just delete that server abruptly because you are trying to deploy a new one, then you run into, you don't have any servers running. And if you run into issue with your deployment, then there's also something there, right? You don't have any servers running and you've already deleted the old one. So I think what it is doing is it will leave whatever you currently have running. It will spin up the new one. And once that one is available and 100% running, then it will now remove the green one.
So the one that is running will be termed or labeled as blue, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
So let's go to no, refresh. I think the one that is green is still the one that is running, right? The blue is the
Right.
one that is coming up.
Oh, okay.
So once the blue one is completely stable, it would now delete the green one and the blue one becomes green,
I see. I've heard
I
of
think.
that terms, but I've not taken
So
it.
that is why they even, you saw when it was updating, you can see the blue green there, the color. The color was like blue green.
Yes.
Did you guys ever notice that? Yeah.
Yeah, I seen it.
All right. So refresh now. Refresh. I think it is done. So you see you have two running now, but it has changed to one because again, you only need to have 2 running. Your auto scaling group has detected that, okay, it is 1. So now try to access your site.
Okay. Yeah. Mhm. Still getting that secure.
So do it in Chrome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So the
Yeah.
not secure UI is still getting in your other one. Your Internet Explorer is probably because you have to clear your history of things. It's still remembering the history of things. So try to do it in incognito there. So I'm saying about like in your Explorer, right? In the Explorer browser, do it in incognito instead of like so you can try it here, right? So open new incognito tab, paste your URL there. So here, it's the same thing you just
I don't
open.
even see incognito. I don't
It's
even
right
see
there.
it.
You see that thing you just opened, the third line down, that's incognito.
There we go.
Right? It's working here, right? So
Yeah.
now the one you said is not working. Go to that your Explorer, Internet, Microsoft Explorer, whatever.
That's Edge.
Edge, sorry. Go to there, right? So
Right.
click on that three dots. So I'm saying that this is just still remembering your history of when you try to access it. So do a new private window. Paste it in there.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can see it is working, right? So you need to, so the other one is just remembering I don't know what your internet thing is set to. After some time, it will clear off, or you can go in and clear it yourself, then try it again. It will work. Or just
Okay.
close that tab. So go back to that window again, not the private one. So close that tab, open a new tab and try. Sometimes if you do that, it will work.
All right.
No, not that, not the whole page, but just the tab.
Oh,
It's okay.
I'll go back to it.
Yeah, but the long story short is working.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's just your browser remembering. It's the
Right.
catch. It's the catch on it. It's just remembering the last thing you try to access. So you have to like, I don't know, browser settings or something like that. You have to clear your browsing history. And if you try it again, it should work. So I think it's settings. Try settings. Uh, it's been a while since I cleared cookies and permissions. Try that. Let's see. Yeah, so recent activities. I mean, I can look it up real quick. I mean, it's really not a big deal. I mean, all that things because if you clear it, it's going to clear all that things you've access to, unless if you don't want to do that. Or do you mind?
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind.
Okay. So you guys, does anyone remember how to, I can look it up, but if anyone right off the top remembers how to clear, let me just look it up. How to clear browser. Browser. Uh, to clear browser. Edge. Microsoft Edge. So it says so click on the three dots, right? Then select settings. Then go to privacy. Then under clear browsing
Yeah.
data. Under clear click under clear click choose what to clear. So choose what to clear. All right.
Browser, 35 items. Okay.
All right. So you can, no, okay, what to clear. So, okay. So if you would check that, it will clear your browsing history. Cookies, if you want to clear cookies too, and site. Yeah. All right. I think that's it. And scroll down. Stay in the, that you need to do. There's no approve. There's no scrolling down
No,
button.
I don't think so. No,
Okay.
no, it ain't.
Choose what to clear. Select the data. Click clear now. It says there's a clear now button here. There.
That's, don't
Uh,
clear.
oh, I think they changed it. So I think if you click that, so what if you go back? So there, so you say you can scroll down. So
No.
I think if you go, I think that checking that button counts as clear now. So go back, maybe that will clear it. So now click, not back like that, but like the arrow over here on your screen, not that one. So I was talking about the other arrow. So you can check now, but that's where you get it from.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
What arrow you was talking about?
oh, it was that privacy one, that one up there, but I don't know how to. Let me see here. Let me just see something real quick, because that's
When you go back, there is a clear now button on the privacy search and services.
just a second. I'm watching this guy's video.
No, no, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Scroll up,
Right here?
scroll up, scroll up. No, the previous one, down, sorry. I think we passed it. Wait. Choose what to clear me here. Yes. There. Yes, now you have.
Okay, so
No.
clear now.
Oh.
So how did it get? Oh, so which one to choose what to clear? But how did this pop up? So you have to go back in and select it again, and you see this option.
Okay.
Okay, just click clear now.
No.
Wait. Oh, okay. So click that arrow first. Click that arrow. Let me see something. All right, go back. Click this arrow, blue arrow, the blue arrow
Which
up
one?
there. No, under you see where the privacy search thing is. No, not
All
there.
right.
Up there. Yeah. Just to come back to this page. So now go back to what who was just giving you stuff? Sorry, I didn't get that. I couldn't see who's
Yeah,
talking. So I
it's
think
the
if you
button. Yes, choose what to clear. Choose what to clear.
no, don't click the arrow. That's what it's telling you.
Click
Delete.
on the
Okay.
box.
All right.
Click on
Yeah.
on the box.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
arrow
All right.
takes you into something else, the extra option. So it's saying
Yes.
click on the actual box.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you want to clear all that stuff, then there you go. Thank you. Um, then try to access it again. Press your thing. It should work now. I know it's working, so it's just there's still more stuff
Yeah.
you need to clear. So that's just your browser doing that.
Right. Yeah. I know.
That's why
I figure you know now.
that's why I always say use Chrome if you want to test a lot of stuff. Chrome is more modern, so Chrome will test would well, you can say it is working in the private one of these two. So there's still more. There's probably like other data stuff that you need to clear, like
Yeah.
maybe uh I don't know, like
The image and files, maybe.
yeah, maybe that one. Yeah,
What? What? Clear what? What?
this one.
Catch image.
Yeah,
This
maybe
one.
that one. Yeah, maybe that one.
Come
Uncle
on.
Tunde, good evening, sir. How are you? Happy fasting. Hope your fasting is going well. May God answer your prayer. Thank you.
So which browser are you using?
It's using Edge.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
I hate Edge, man.
I
I
don't
see.
know.
I've been trying to take it on off, but for some reason it keeps coming back.
Sometimes
Make
Google Chrome, if it is too much, we don't or we forgot to do this, it might
I
happen
even
as well.
I even made Chrome my default browser, but for some reason when I go here and I click on a new tab, it always take me to Microsoft Edge. It don't never take me to a new browser inside Google. It's
I
just, and
think
I
it's
just been
because
using it.
you need to set your default thing
I,
you need to set your default. Well, I can show you, I can help you figure that out, right? So
mm-hmm.
is this Chrome or Edge? You're still using this is Edge, right? Or this is
No,
Chrome?
no, 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 no. This is just Google. This is just
All right.
Google. The other one is just this is
So
Chrome right here.
so use Chrome, right? So use Chrome, right? Uh, what is that thing? What what is that thing on our computer where once you click it, you can set the default thing. That's what you need to go change on your the setting is on the setting. Let me see. So type so in that search box, right where your mouse is,
Mm-hmm.
type default something. Type default. Uh, Default
Default what?
apps. Let's try that. Okay. Um, Scroll down. Let me see something. No, don't scroll down all the way like that. Yeah, just a little bit. Google Chrome. So scroll down, right? You see where there's Google Chrome.
You don't have the bar on the side for me to scroll down slow.
Oh yeah. So you're using
Do it.
your if you click on the screen and you just start pressing the down key, it also lets you scroll.
Yeah, that's what I'm that's there we go. There it is.
All right. So stop here. So click on that Google Chrome. Let's see. You see how those thing is on Edge, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to change it to Google Chrome. Set as default. You need to change that one too. All right. Scroll down and make sure there's nothing else. So web
You
pages,
can
that
make
one.
all.
Oh,
Sorry, Aziz. You can make it all at once at the top.
okay. Yeah. So
Dila.
it said, Dylan, go to the top. It said you can set all of it at once. So go to the top.
Yes, set default. Make Google yes.
All
All
right.
right. Scroll down.
All
Scroll down. We'll just make sure. Okay. All right. That's it, right? Yeah. Scroll. I'm still
yeah, that's
seeing.
it.
Did I see Edge? Scroll up slowly. Did I still see Edge there? Or I didn't see it? Maybe no, I didn't
Uh,
see it. All right. Cool. All right. And that's what you need to do. So I think now once you right click, it shouldn't default to your thing anymore because that was what was causing it. So vice versa, you can change your Edge one to default to Google Chrome. So that way, if you search something in Edge, it will default to Google Chrome. So you
all
just have
right.
to go back to the app level and do it that way. But go try it now. Go try it now.
What? Let's
Like
see.
yeah, right click and see.
Still going to
Or you
Edge.
you have to you have to refresh, obviously. Or maybe you have to close the Chrome and open it again.
Still opening and
No,
Microsoft Edge.
close Chrome. I think you have to close it first. Close the app, then reopen it.
You say close it, right?
Yeah, close Chrome.
Chrome is closed. It's closed. Let me
Right.
close Edge.
If I pick up the setting, I'm not sure how when it picks it up. So don't close that setting. Well, you already closed it. So open your Google Chrome again. And yeah, just open AWS. So try AWS and see if you're logged in. Some then yeah, right click and try to open something. Even before you sign in, you can just try to open something, anything. Yeah, right click on something there and try to open. No, just on any link on your screen. So that Nest logo, try right click on it and see.
On the
So I
next
want to
logo.
see if that thing is still showing up. See, yeah, that this is what you should get. Then when you open a new tab, it should open a new tab in Chrome. Yeah.
No. It won't. I think I gotta delete this Google. It should or it
Yeah,
should
just
update, but
delete that Google app. You really don't need that Google app. As long as you have Chrome, Chrome pretty much works the same exact way. It's even, in my opinion, I think it's better. So you really don't need that Google stuff. You only need the Chrome.
all
Chrome
right.
is, yeah.
Okay, I delete it,
Okay.
but I know this one is like super secure, so that's the only reason why I have it. But
Oh, it
yeah,
is.
yeah, it's secure.
It's better than Chrome. I don't know.
No. I don't think it's better than no, it's not better than Chrome.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
but
I wouldn't use so what we did, I think we did that for Chrome. So you have to go do the same thing for the Google app. You understand?
right.
So the port
Mm-hmm.
setting we said, I think we did that for Chrome. So your Google is still showing that because that is a different app on your computer. So you have to go in the settings and do the same thing for it. The same thing. Set the default to Google, then it would change. But I'll just say use
uh,
Chrome. Chrome works.
all right, I'm just gonna get rid of the Google altogether. So
All right.
I just like surfing back and forth, but
Okay.
nevertheless, I I know I have to tear all this down. So but you say I cannot make an AMI for this particular project. I know that's what you said, but the AMI is still gonna use for like the snapshot, right?
No, it is an ECS project. You can't create an AMI for it. The main thing your application is configured in your image, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your Docker image that you built that you push to ECR, your application is configured in that,
Okay. All
right?
right.
So you don't AMI is for EC2.
Gotcha.
All right, cool. Um, does anyone else have any question? Okay, cool. We're already at pretty much at time anyway, so Dylan, that's how you pretty much that. So if you run into any other issue, let me know. But the main thing is, so what I want you to do is go back, try to use the Docker image that I gave you, right? The first step that I gave you, try to build your image. You can build it in a different repository. Call the repository something else. Push your image there, build it, push it there, then test it again. Because half of the things that Claude or ChatGPT gave you that you have in your Docker file, you really don't need them.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, cool. Before I end the call, does anyone else have any question?
No, sir. Thank you for today.
All right, no problem. All right,
Yeah, most
guys.
definitely.
All right.
Most
Well,
definitely.
uh, Thank you.
See you.
Have a good weekend, guys,
Okay.
and I will
Have a good
catch
one.
you guys next week.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Bye.